You know, they were to buy a particular property, and it was going to cost them $75,000. This was in 1979. All the money they had to pay a deposit. All the money they had in the entire world there was $25,000. They paid it and had no money anywhere again. They had a 3-month deadline. If you don't pay the balance of $50,000 in 3 months, you'll lose, all right, the deposit you have made. And the place where they were staying, all right, already, okay, they had already, somebody else had already taken it. So his church was just going to be on the streets there, and that's very damning. Then his assistant pastor, who was much older than him, all right, decided he was going to leave and start his ministry at that particular point in time. He appealed to him, look, we're under pressure here, we're trying to raise money and all of that, and to get this done, this is not the time you should go and all of that. And I understood what was happening there, because I've been in church for a while. So I understood what the assistant pastor felt was an opportune time for him to do it, because of course there was pressure on the church at that particular point in time. He probably was appointed as the assistant pastor because Bishop Butler was very young then, to help him stabilize the older people that were in the church. He decided he was going, if that kind of person goes, the implication is that the older people will go with the older person. You'll be left with young people, all right, as a young man, and the older people are the ones that have the money. You get what I'm saying here? So your problem is being compounded. So he leaves. God now tells him, and says, how do I respond to this? Now you can respond from your emotions. You can respond naturally to it and start complaining and start doing that. Or you have an opportunity there to respond prophetically to it, to find out what's on the mind of God, how he feels about that situation, and respond. And if you do that, what we're saying is it will lead, all right, to unprecedented success. And all of us have got to understand that we've had opportunities to take prophetic actions. And when you don't take a prophetic action when you are supposed to, then the enemy can. That's why Jesus said, the things that make for your peace are now hidden from your eyes. You miss the time of visitation. And if it happens when you look at it and say, God, no more, it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to just follow and go with how I feel about something. I'm going to wait. That's why it says, be slow to speak, be quick to hear, be slow to wrath. That the wrath of man, all right, responding emotionally, will never work out the plan of God. So he went to God in prayer. God said, go to the church, get an offering, all right, and go and give to him. As he was saying the story, as he said, go and get the offering, there's going to be trouble. This offering will be the largest. It comes out, the offering becomes the largest offering ever taken inside the ministry. Now, you're trying to raise money for your church. The people are saying, well, we've given all we want to give. Then somebody does something that hurts you, and then you go to the church, and then the church gives more than they've ever given. So inside your heart is almost like, so you people have had this money since we, all right, well, you took the money and went to meet the man and said, God, give it to this person. Tell him you love him and hug him. He went there, gave the man the money. All right, the man took the check, just put it there and turned away as though he didn't see him. He said it was like you were adding salt to the injury. God whispered to him, I said, go and tell him you love him and hug him. You haven't finished. He hugged him and left. Then back to his office. Deadline. The last day they were supposed to pay. He said he was there praying, singing, praying, worshiping God. Phone rang around 10 a.m. He picks up the phone. The gentleman on the other line says, I want to come and see you. Didn't know who he was. I need to talk to you. He says, look, I don't have time for counsel. I'm in the middle of. He said, all right, you can come. The man shows up, walks into his office and puts down his checkbook. Bam. He said, God told me this morning you should write anything you want on this checkbook. He said, he looked at me and said, you don't understand what I need. He said, what do you need? He said, I need $50,000 for 3 p.m. He said, yes, I told you, God told me this morning. Write anything. Is that all? Write it. He wrote $50,000, he signed it, he said, that's it.